Welcome everyone to the video library. Today we'll be focusing on CPS Air and CPS Air related options and setup. We'll be working our way through some various chapters here. Today focusing on chapter 1, which is backend setup. First, we're going to navigate to the cpsair.cps.golf apps website. We will then scroll down to find the app that matches our software version. In this scenario, 3.94 is what I'm going to download. This will take us to the app's enterprise section in which we can install the app. Click install and the app will start to download in the background. After this app finishes downloading, go to the settings of the iPad. We're going to find general and we're going to scroll down into device management. We'll then see our app available. Going in, we're going to click on the app once again, and we're going to hit trust. After we trust the app, we're then able to open the app. Opening the app, we'll be presented with the option to put in our web server connection string. If this hasn't been given to you by the support staff, please feel free to call and we'll get you this link. After we successfully type in our link address, we'll hit connect, wait a few seconds, and we're then connected. You'll be then presented with this screen. What this screen is doing is walking you through the exact steps to approve your iPad in the software. So what it's telling us to do in step 1 is open the POSExpress, which I'm going to do here. Step 2, open Tools, Options, Reference Tables, and then Terminal Information at the bottom. On step 3, double-click the name of your iPad, in this case, AA CPC here, double-click. We're going to then go to the iOS settings, and we're going to click. Once we click approve, we'll then see the pin screen. This pin is going to relate to your employee pin, or the general employee pin of the Pro Shop 1111. Our iPad is now approved and ready to use. Section 2 of the backend setup. Settings within Club Profit for the iPad. Once again, we're going to find ourselves in the terminal information of the iPad we are working with. In this scenario, AA CPS test. The credit card information which you see here will need to be filled out by your Club Profit support technician. They'll get this set up so you can charge credit cards accordingly to your credit card provider. Some other options down here that we're going to take a look at are going to be the receipt. This email receipt will reference a template that you build in the email module of the software. Out of the box, we have a CPS Air email receipt in here, which will essentially send them an image of their receipt if you decide to send them an email receipt. We also have a printer available. This will link to a certified Bluetooth printer, as well as a smart Epson receipt printer. We have the option for a cash drawer over here. This will need to be an approved cash drawer that links up to the Epson printer. We have options for custom tip description. So if your tips are called something to associate themselves with your club, we can put something custom in here. We also have a custom gratuity description as well, which same thing. If you have a special name for a gratuity at your location, we can type that in here. Show Open Cash Drawer button. This is going to put the Open Cash Drawer button onto the sales screen. If you have a sales type, which could be dine in, here, to go, we can select that here. So if this is more of a to-go terminal, we can set it to go, or if it's more of a here terminal, we can set it to be always on here, or we can leave it as blank. Down below is going to be the payment method section. What this references is the payment methods that you're allowing on this iPad. So maybe the iPad doesn't allow cash. We can omit cash. Maybe it's just a member charge, MasterCard, Visa, and American Express. We can just select these, but each check mark will turn on or turn off a payment method on this iPad itself. Tips and gratuity. These reference quick tip amounts. So on the finalization screen, when you hand it to the customer, they'll be presented with these quick amounts, or if you leave them 0, it'll just be a standard wheel that they could spin, or just put in the amount that they want to leave a tip by just typing it in. We have the option for auto gratuity here, 0 after this is checked, but we can reference any gratuity percent in here if you have an auto gratuity functionality. To the right here, apply gratuity before discount. This is also a terminal option for the Club Profit software. When this is on, the gratuity will be calculated before the discount is given. So if the discount was $5 off $20, the gratuity would be based on the $20 sum. Auto apply gratuity when customer count is greater than or equal to a number. When this is on, if using table view and your customer count reaches or is greater than the number you have in here, in this example 8, if that table is 8 or more, it'll automatically reference the auto gratuity on the left hand side here. So if this was 20 and my seat count is 8 or more, that tab will be adding a 20% gratuity on top. Below is the discount button setup. Once again, these are just going to be quick amounts for the discount button. So if you do allow discounting on here, these will just give a quick button press for the staff to press. You can certainly turn these off by just replacing them with 0 if you would like these to be hidden. Some other options for the display are going to be in other options here. Show line item including tax price. So what that's going to do when you ring something up, let's call it a candy bar, that is $1 plus tax. In Pennsylvania, our tax rate is 7%. That candy bar on the right hand side will show $1.07. If this option is off, it'll show $1. To the right of that, signature for member charge. If you allow member charging on this iPad, what this option will do, if on, will prompt for a signature when a member charge payment method is pressed. You will then hand the iPad to the member and they can sign with their finger. Default to a cash account. If this option is on, the CPS Air iPad will default to a cash account, which just in our system is a general sale. If this option is off, each transaction will prompt for the server to put in a member's name. You'll click up in the sold to field, find the member, click on them, and that transaction will then be under that member's name. Approval for inventory check-in required. The CPS Air has an option which we call inventory. Essentially, what this option does is brings in the ability to check in and check out inventory. So let's say you wanted your person to take out 10 of this, 20 of that, 30 of another item from your inventory module. They would check out that inventory at the beginning of the day and then check in the inventory at the end of the day. This option being on makes the approval for the inventory a requirement. This approval is going to be based on a user role, which we'll get into a little bit later. But essentially, with that user role on, that person's PIN will be able to approve a check-in from the inventory. Auto log off after X amount of seconds. What this option will do is after whatever seconds you put in there, the CPS Air terminal will log itself off. A lot of times these are used just for individual use for an all-day period of time, so this option might not want to be on, but If this is something that's just floating around, a lot of people are picking up, you might want to auto log off so we make sure that the correct person is always logged in to the terminal. The settings option is going to reference another module that we offer called CPS Go. CPS Go is a mobile check-in terminal. You can essentially put an iPad out and allow your membership or customers to check themselves in. These check-in periods are going to reference that, and we can get into CPS Go a little bit later. Welcome screen images. Feel free to put the images of your logo here on the splash and logo image. Um, and then the footer text, any additional information that you'd like to type in here. This also references CPS Go. These will give prompts for how to check in if you need to give your customers a little bit of help on the mobile check-in solution. After we select all the options that we want, we can hit save, and your terminal is now set. The third section within backend setup is going to be user security / user roles for the CPS Air. For this, we're going to navigate over into the options list once again, scroll down to security. In security, we'll find user roles. In here, we'll find our various levels of security. You can add, edit, as many of these as you would like. Be your standard selections. For example, cashier. If we go into here, check boxes represent something that this person can do. Maybe a module, maybe an option, but for the sake of this, we're going to be focusing on anything with CPS Air after it. I'm going to go through these just from top to bottom, just to stay in order. Access other employees tabs. This is going to be a more food related option. This allows the person with this security level to access other people's tabs. Next is going to be check in and out inventory. This is going to reference the inventory module within CPS Air. This being checked allows them to check in and check out inventory. Below that, check in and out inventory approval. This is going to reference the ability to approve those checked in and out amounts. So this level will probably be given to some managerial type scenario. Below that, delete item from a saved tab. What that's going to do is going to allow this person with this security level to delete an item off of a save tab. Delete a tab. Once again, this is going to give this person the ability to delete an entire tab. Discount. Discounts being allowed will allow them to utilize either quick amounts or custom discount amounts on the CPS Air terminal. F&B. This is going to give them access to the entire module for food and beverage. So if this is a food and beverage terminal versus a golf terminal, we would check this on and omit the starter HUD option that we'll talk about in a little bit. If we want our servers and staff to see the T-sheet, we're going to be able to give them options to do that as well. Moving over to the second column, we are going to navigate down to T-sheet. T-sheet is going to give them access to the CPS Air T-sheet. And finally, transfer a check on the right-hand side. This is going to give this person the ability to transfer one of their checks to another staff member. After we have all the options checked that we want for this level of security, we can hit save, and those options will be saved for that security level. This concludes the backend setup of Chapter 1. We talked about approving an iPad, the settings within the Club Profit software for the iPad, and also security roles and security levels. As always, you can reach out to support with any questions or concerns or help that you may need for your CPS Air terminal. Thank you.